Hey everyone, and welcome back to my very shambolic YouTube channel. Today's episode is a Ask Me Anything, but not about sessions. And the last time I had a general AMA was legit 3 years ago. Wow, time has flown by so quickly, and it just felt like yesterday that I did an Ask Me Anything. So I asked on all my socials, and of course Reddit had the most questions. Not only did Reddit have the most questions, they had the most serious and thought-provoking questions, like actual real advice, please, needed questions, which always like confuses me because who do you think I am? Do you think I am this great, insightful writer with all these opinions like Noam Chomsky or Orson Welles or something? No, like my name is the literal depiction of who I am. So I'm like, why? But then I really do this to myself. I did the AMA, so I better answer these questions, right? I don't know why I expect very simple, basic questions. Some of them are, towards me, and some of them are for advice. Some of them are hard to interpret because I don't know if you're asking me personally or if you're asking for advice for you. So I guess that should have been more specific. There were so many questions that I had to divide it up into two videos. So the first video will have half, which is mostly the Reddit questions, and the second video will have all the other questions. Let's get into it. Number one, what was your first in real life experience with ABDL? Any awkward encounters? Okay, so my first in real life experience, forgive me because my memory is really shoddy and it's gotten worse as I've aged and gotten more information put into my brain. But my first one would probably be when I was 20 or 21. And I met someone, I think through IRC. This would have been, oh my goodness, this would have been like 98 maybe. I was in my parents' basement suite at that time. And this guy came over and he was pretty much my age. And it was his first time too. And he brought diapers. They were medical ones because ABDL diapers did not exist at that time. And the whole thing was awkward. It was just like, hey, I'm this person. Hey, we chatted on IRC. Okay, now I want to try and diaper someone. And back then there was no YouTube. There was no videos on like how to do it. So he pretty much had to walk me through it. It wasn't like a role-playing session or anything like that. It was just, hey, let's get diapered and maybe he'll wet it. And so I diapered him. I don't really remember that much. And then he wet it. And then my mom came down and knocked on my door and asked if I wanted anything or something. And it was very nerve-wracking. Yeah, I mean, I had no experience. The only experience I had was being online, being on the Wet Set forums, and reading stories and chatting with a few people online and IRC. That was literally it. Any awkward encounters? I mean, yes, throughout the years, I guess there have been a lot. I think the most awkward things are when someone had booked me for a professional session and they really didn't know what they want. So then I've developed a series of streamlined questions to get to their desires and their fantasies. And I have encountered very few people that couldn't even answer some of the most basic questions, and they would pretty much give me a non-answer. So then I would ask further questions to try and investigate based on the first questions, and they were unable to answer them. And that's really tough. That's a little awkward because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, because I don't understand their desires, thoughts, and fantasies that's been living in their head. Number 2, how do you cope with the ebb and flow of desire with age play? So are you asking me how I cope with it? I mean, I just go with the flow. There are times in the month, depending on my hormonal changes in my body, where I get more DH, diaper horny. And so I just try to delve into it as much as I can. I don't have any play partners that live in Vegas, so I don't really get to play very often, especially now that I don't do sessions. I don't really get this out of my system in real life. So what I do is I just hit up the guys that I usually talk to, or my play partners, and bother them. And just bother them and be like, hey, what diaper are you wearing? What are you doing? And yeah, I just get my fill that way. I watch my favorite media or pictures and videos of cute diaper boys that have sent stuff my way. That's how I deal with it. When it, I guess, ebbs, I just go about my normal life, and I still find diaper boys attractive, obviously. It just chills out for a while. And it's always been like that, really based on my hormonal changes monthly. And I've learned that, yeah, I can kind of, like, I get super DH around my period, and then afterwards I can usually keep it going if I keep talking to diaper boys and watching media and thinking about it. I can flow it for like another, 2 weeks if I'm on it. But if I'm not, then I'm pretty just chill, asexual. I mean, I'm asexual, diaper sexual, so I just go about my normal life. That's how I deal with it. I might be different for you. If anyone has any ideas, please comment below. Number 3, what words of advice do you have for the shame often associated with age play? So I really don't deal with that, but I've seen a lot of other people deal with it. And just try and fight the purge, like the desire to get rid of everything and to trash everything. Just go online. I think that's the best thing to do, is go online and actually try and be part of the community. Because I think with other people around you, even if it's just virtually, that would help a lot in feeling like you're not alone, and that this is a lot more normalized than you think if you keep yourself in that little bubble. For example, you can go on Reddit, create an ABDL Instagram account and Twitter account and Blue Sky account and FetLife account, and really immerse yourself in that. Try and make ABDL friends, keep in touch with them, take cute pictures, and if you're still ashamed, just put your stuff away in the closet for a little bit. I mean, people from all walks of life are into that, and our fetishes choose us, not so much the other way around. Number 4, how do you recommend building friendships in age play events? Okay, so you're at an age play event, right? And you want to build lasting friendships. I would suggest asking questions and creating dialogue that's just not on the surface level. You know what I mean? Like, talk about other things other than diapers and age play. Talk about what's going on in your life. And it has to work both ways. You can ask them a lot of questions, but if it might come off as kind of creepy if you're the one asking all the questions and not offering anything about yourself too. So it takes two to build a friendship. It takes two to be vulnerable and to show each other your sides. And sometimes you have to make the first step and say, hey, I love this band too. Do you want to go out and hang out? Do you want to go and have a drink sometime? And or just say, just keep it open-ended, like, hey, do you want to do something after this event or at some other time, or go check out this event with, like, non-ABDL event with me. And it's just like building friendships in real life where you have to put the time and effort in. Like, I always have this one friend who checks up on everybody, and he is so diligent about just texting everyone and just seeing how they're doing. That's the type of effort it really makes to build like an ongoing friendship, because it's a back and forth where you share information, you have fun, you say, hey, you have to take the first step and say, hey, what's your Instagram account? What's your FetLife account? Let's keep in touch and actually say it and do it and mean it. Number 5, what's an ABDL product you wish existed but doesn't yet? Cute high capacity pull-ups don't count. Okay, I guess for me, it would be really cool to have, like, what do you call those? Not a walker, but you like sit in it and they have the wheels and then they have a big tray in front of you and it's kind of round, and then you can like use your feet to push this gigantic rolling device. Pretty much like a rolling high chair. It's like, there's a name for it, but I can't remember. But I saw one at Capcom and it was magnificent. It would be really cool if someone could like kind of mass produce them, and it was easy to assemble, and you could just buy one straight out of the box and just quickly assemble it like in like IKEA furniture, and you could just jump in and do your stuff, because it's a very multi-functioning device where it's like a walker, but it's also a high chair, so you can use it for both. And I'm sure littles and ABs would feel so small. Number 6, was it difficult for you to be so public? So I guess by public you mean on YouTube, because that is the most public platform I could think of. When I was on Instagram, I really wasn't that public, because you had to be ABDL to even know how to like search that on Instagram or whatever social media platform it is. No, it was not difficult, because I realized that pretty much only ABDLs and people looking for such niche content would find it. And I'm also not embarrassed about anything I like at all. I mean, I keep my private life out of this life, and I feel like everyone in my private life knows about this and this. So, yeah, I just don't have any shame about liking any of this. And I guess it's different for me because I'm not ABDL and I don't wear, and I don't have the desire to wear. So perhaps I feel differently. I don't know what it's like to be ABDL. So if I was, maybe my answer would be different, but there's nothing that I've done here to be ashamed of. Number 7, what's your favorite pizza topping? That would be pepperoni. But I'm kind of picky about my pizza. Like, I only like Grimaldi's pizza now, pretty much. And I've tried other pizzas, and it has to have, like, not super sweet sauce. I don't like cheddar cheese on my pizza. I think that's gross. I don't prefer chicken. Like, a good caprese pizza is good, or just pepperoni and cheese, but not orange cheese and not super sweet sauce. And I like thin crust. I have tried the deep dish pizza and I just don't get it. It's just so much sauce and cheese, and you can only eat half a slice and then you're full. Number 8, being that ABDL makes easy fodder for trolling content providers, combined with the rise of populist politics in the US and abroad, do you see any risk or change in risk as a content provider in maintaining your exposure on services like YouTube without running afoul of terms and services and changing policies? I really don't, because this is just an educational channel, and there are a lot of educational channels on YouTube. There's a lot more politically charged non-kink channels that would probably be under fire more. And there's way more very mainstream things that get a lot more views than this little niche in the big corner of sexuality, I guess, gets. So no, I am not worried. I've only had one YouTube video taken down, and I guess it was for a good reason, because it was coming up in searches where moms were looking for help with diapers. And this is more of a lifestyle community channel. And there's so many out there. Every single kink is represented on YouTube. And a lot of them talk about stuff that's way more either sexual or charged or whatever than this. So no, I have no worries about that. I suppose, in short, do you think the ABDL community is obscure enough to stay off the radar during such hostile times? Absolutely, because as I said, they're gonna go, like, there's so many topics right now that sexuality isn't really even on their radar at this point. Like, right now, they're going after trans women, and there's just so many. We've always kept it kind of on the DL, and this is still on the DL. Like, let's say some of my videos have like 60,000 views, right? That's really, really small. Really small in comparison to other videos of any special interest group. It really is. So I might seem like a big creator to you, but in reality, yeah, it's not on their radar at all. I'm pretty sure. Number 9, what was your general journey through ABDL like in the beginning? How does it feel to essentially be a pioneer for the ABDL community as far as putting out the content that you do, and also being a voice for the community as you clarify what ABDL really is versus what it isn't? So that last point, right? I love doing that because I have a lot of experience in telling everybody in my social circle, like, i.e. all my friends, what my interests are, and they have a lot of misconceptions, and that's why I started making those videos about, hey, this is not what ABDL is, and hey, adult babies aren't these things, because I realized that people only know what they have seen on TV, which is very little, okay? Like, furries are way more represented than ABDLs. And when you see diapers or ABDLs on a fictional show were always the butt of a joke. Like, people are just laughing at us or thinking there's something wrong, and they think that, okay, that's the extent of it. Like, you know, the quick depictions on Gotham. I don't feel like a pioneer for the ABDL community, and I don't think I am. I really don't. I think people like the early people on Tumblr, like Miss Panda Pants, people who organize events are the real pioneers because they get people to get together. Who do I think are true pioneers? The people who started Capcom, creators of resource sites where people can get the information, like Chris from YABDL, like Bitter Gray. Yeah, okay, I Need a Mommy. That was the first time that someone made, you know, mommies in a POV style geared towards ABDLs. And there wasn't anything like that. But before that, there were the Phonomommies. I mean, that was kind of a pioneer, right? It was just really expensive. Yeah, that is one thing I don't want to be as a pioneer. I don't see myself as that. It's really confusing when people say that because I'm just trying to be myself on here. And I guess some people have followed me for a long, long time. I started I Need a Mommy in 2007. An adult baby girl in 2006. So that's coming on 20 years. My general journey through ABDL in the beginning, it was really lonely because it was 1996 and it was really hard to find people my own age. It felt like things were happening but I didn't fully know about them, or they weren't for me, or they were, I guess I didn't really know my role in it because I knew that I liked guys in diapers and I like being the top. I see it as I'm discovering everything at the same or different rates than you are, because everyone has their own journey, and some people found community through Tumblr and some people found community through just going to live events and never being online. So there's different paths to the whole journey, and I guess I found mine really lonely in the beginning, and then still really lonely because I was just putting out content and getting some feedback, but that was it. And it wasn't until I started doing the professional babysitting sessions that I felt like I was like doing something and making a difference. And then I guess I didn't really realize the impact until, like, I went to Capcom in 2018, which was my first big event. One of the organizers, like, knew who I was, and I was like, oh, that's weird that you knew who I was and where I'm from. Okay. It's confusing is a good word. Just trying to go through it and see what platforms there are to spread the word and post more fun pictures. Number 10. What is your quintessential diaper in your mind? And then secondary to that is, what is your favorite diaper? Okay, so the first one would be a one-tape plastic-backed diaper, which are really hard to find now. And I guess it would be the SDKs. I think they are so cute, and I love the little teddy bears with the balloons. It's not too busy. There's not too many colors. It's not all about one thing or another. It's just simple. And I like that. B, what is your favorite diaper? Not the hook and loop one. That answer changes. Like, I'll see something on someone, or I'll diaper someone with a specific diaper and then have fun with them, and then I'll be obsessed with that diaper for a little while. I don't have a favorite. Sorry guys. All of them, all the plastic backed ones are my favorite. Is that a good answer? And not crinkles, because like, sorry, there's no hate on crinkles. I love, love, love the plastic on them. But I don't like these bright colors. Like, these colors are just not appealing to me. The design is cute, but I like softer colors. Okay, number 12. We're almost at the end here. This is getting long. 12. Do you think that diaper cons will be threatened under Trump? No. No. We're not on the radar. These are private hotels, and they're just trying to book events. Okay? There are so many different kink events that happen. There's tickling conventions. There's BDSM conventions. There's fetish con. There's literally like IML, MAL. There's just so many hotel takeovers, and there are thousands of hotels in the US who want to make money. So no. No, we're not even on the radar. There's no one literally like going after us. It might feel like that because a lot of the platforms are tightening ship based on what their lawyers are saying and what's okay with the credit card companies. But even then, the conventions, they don't care. Oh, and speak of conventions, there's going to be Camp Crinkle coming up in June in Nevada. In November, there's going to be Little's Jamboree in Milwaukee. And then Baby Fur Con in Santa Cruz in the fall sometime. Number 13, in one of your vids, you mentioned that one of your fantasies was to take an AB to a theme park. Did you ever get to do that while you were providing services or since then? So I actually have never taken an AB to a theme park while providing services, like during a session, a paid session, but I have gone 3 times to theme parks while they were diapered with my ABDL friends. And they were all in Orlando. Never on the West Coast. Why is that? So I went with the Kyle movie to Busch Gardens during their Halloween event. And he was diapered the whole time, and there was discreet diaper checks and haunted houses, and we did all the roller coasters, and it was cute watching him like waddle. I remember he had on an SDK, I think. I still have pictures from that. And then I went with another friend who lives in Orlando, and he works for the Universal company. And he took me through Halloween Horror Nights while he was diapered up, and I actually changed him in one of the family restrooms, like the single restrooms, and it had the big changing the table that he could fit on. He's not a very large person, so he laid on there, and I got to change his diapers during the event. And I'm really thankful because he helped me get through all the haunted houses on a regular ticket. So thank you. And the third time was with another very cute diaper boy during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And he dressed as a Boy Scout. And I was Lydia Dietz from Beetlejuice, the cartoon. And he was diapered up. I didn't do any changes in the park. There were some discreet diaper checks. He is someone who doesn't really go, like, wear under his clothing while outside, so he felt really uncomfortable with it. and that wasn't something that he wanted to repeat again. So I probably had more fun that time, but I was also very distracted with all the Halloween goings on. So good times at theme parks. But no, I haven't done that in a session, and I'm still open to. Today is Valentine's Day, so I hope you're spending it with your loved ones or pampering yourself. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video to answer the rest of the questions. Bye!